I say, Evanson, tell me what is going on here tonight.
Dr. Stockman is going to deliver an address attacking the mayor.
Attacking the mayor? But the mayor is his brother.
That doesn't matter. That good doctor's not the kind of a person to be afraid. Dr. Stockman loves this town and will do anything for it.
But he is in the wrong. It is said so in the People's Messenger.
Yes, I expect he must be in the wrong this time, considering the circumstances. Look, good old Slackston from the Householders Association is moderating this meeting. He is a man of moderation, to be sure.
Quiet down, gentlemen. I remain grateful for your decision to elect me as the moderator. I shall be sure this meeting remains civil, peaceful, and moderate. And for this, I require from your moderate and gentlemanly selves your total cooperation.
Moderator, if you'd please.
Yes, of course. The mayor will address the meeting.
In consideration of the close relationship in which, as you all know, I stand to the present medical officer of the Bats, I should have preferred not to speak this evening. But my official position with regard to the Bats and my solicitude for the vital interests of the town compels me to bring forward a motion. I venture to presume that there is not a single one of our citizens present who considers it desirable that exaggerated accounts of the sanitary condition of the Bats be spread about town and beyond.
Of course not. This town thrives on the existence of the baths.
That's right. We don't want to hear about it.
I think we should hear the good doctor out and then decide what's what.
We shall hear nothing against the baths. I have appointments to fulfill and places to be.
Then why did you come?
Moderation. Order. Order.
Therefore, I would like to propose that the meeting not permit the medical officer, Dr. Stockman, either to read or to comment on his proposed lecture.
What? How could you say that? I called for this meeting.
It's the doctor himself.
Quiet.
I think I have been grossly misrepresented this evening. Not just by my own brother, but by the press that aligns with his unjust position. Whatever it may be, have it your way. You decide whether you want to hear a truth that needs to be told, or if you want to continue living on the lies that keep festering over and under you each day you stay ignorant in this town. You get to decide what you want for this town. I'm just a messenger.
Don't these words sound like the ramblings of a madman? Our dear doctor believes he is some prophet. As mayor, I have worked with my associates for the longest to ensure the good health and productivity of this town. I believe I have been doing my best and none of you have questioned any of the rationales behind my actions. That is because you already know how faithful I am to this town and its conduct. As such, I request you all to understand what it would mean for us to let Dr. Stockman speak.
We shall have a poll now. This poll shall determine whether or not the public meeting must continue. I request you all to keep moderation in mind when you cast your votes. May you all decide the outcome of this meeting, and may it be for our well-being as citizens of this town. All right, that's a wrap. Everyone else can leave for the day. Well, what did you think, Satya?
I think this was a better reading. Much better than the last one.
I think so too. Honestly, each time Ruwais reads Aslaxian, I try my best to hold all the laughter in.
He also has this very serious look on his face when he does it, and it reminds me of a constipated cartoon character.
Moderation, moderation. Besides, according to the script, Mayor Sir, you're the one who suffers from indigestion.
Tea break. Salimeta, you can bring the tea in now. We've come this far, haven't we? I think we should finish up with the reading and start staging by the end of this week. I think we're doing fine in terms of intonation and all that. What do you all think?
I agree. I really thought it would be difficult to read through a play in English since I haven't done that before. But your rewriting is just simple enough for us all to understand.
Yeah, good work on the editing, Satyan. We couldn't have done this without your help. Good play too. It has a really strong message.
Yeah, Henry Gibson has a lot of conviction. I just thought it would be an interesting play to work on.
I'm excited to stage it with you all. We'll need a lot of chairs and desks, some big banners, and oh, I just realized we need Jafar to wear a tight fitting suit.
Where am I gonna get a suit?
Haha, why ask? We'll just go to Hakeem's store for that. They have everything. I saw a very real looking camel there last month, right outside the store. I nearly thought it was one of those camels that frequented the beach here, you know. Turns out it was just a model he got made. Speaking of, where is our boisterous soul Hofstad? Didn't see Hakeem last Sunday either.
Sare chaya.
Oh, thank you. Oh, cutlets. You make the best one, Salim.
Thank you, Salim. I heard Hakeem was sick, hepatitis A. He said it was pretty bad, so I really don't know when he'll make it. It sounded serious on the phone when I called him. The son's taking care of the store these past few weeks. I don't know how the boy does it.
These boys are very capable. Nearly all the stores in SM Street are taken care of by these 12 standard boys. They're especially steadfast when it comes to brash bargaining customers.
He can't shut the store for good either. They're a bit harder for money as it is. His daughter Nabila is getting married next month, you see. They need anything they can salvage.
He should worry for his health first. Has he met a doctor yet? Why didn't he tell me?
I'm actually surprised you didn't know of this. He came to your hospital last week. That's how he knew it was hepatitis A.
He came to Trust? Last week? But I was there all week. How come he didn't tell me anything?
It's quite strange. Maybe we should go out and make a visit sometime. Here, give me your cups. I'll go and keep them by the sink. Salim needn't do it alone.
Thank you, Chechi.
And it's not just Hakeem. I recently noticed that a lot of my neighbors are suffering from similar diseases. They all have jaundice.
It could be a seasonal wave that might pass. But things like jaundice can spread through water. This is actually quite concerning. How bad is it?
I think it's really bad. Remember how the boys would come out to play football on Saturday evenings? None of them are around anymore. I asked young Ali one day about it when I saw him walking back from Needy Medicals. It's jaundice. All of them have either jaundice or very severe cholera.
Our committee members are also very worried about it. The Residents Association is sending out kits to all the houses in our area, ORS, immunity pills, those things. There's only so much they can do. It's hard for them to go all the way to the medical college in that state.
Why bother going all the way to the medical college? The trust is right where they live. The hospital needs to take charge when something like this is happening, right beneath their noses. I'll tell Ajay. He'll be sure to do something about it. Jafar, tell your neighbors to come make an appointment with the trust hospital at the earliest. I'll make all the other necessary arrangements. This does not sit well with me at all.
That's very kind of you, Satyan. It would mean a lot to the society living in the area. Ajay is an understanding man. I'm certain he can do something to help. The town has become a better place because of him.
Yes, Ajayan is very kind. He is the founder of the Trust Hospital for a reason. Magnanimous fellow, that one is.
Yes, I'll speak to him. You all keep yourself safe. Boil your water before you drink it.
Yes, Dr. Satyan, that's what it all boils down to.
Oh, keep your terrible jokes in moderation. Alright, next Sunday, same time.
No doubt. Are we ready to leave, Ranjani?
Yes, dear. I'll just get my things in a moment. See you next week, friends. Jafar, see if you can ask Hakim's son about that suit.
Yes, I'll ask for the tightest fit there is. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
So, what do you say? Should we head straight home, or is there anywhere you want to stop by?
No, dear. Let's just go home.
Are you sure? How about getting some coffee Swiss rolls at Delectables? There's nothing left on the shelf these days at home.
It's not like we have that many guests or relatives stopping by. It's okay.
Is everything alright? You've got something on your mind?
It's nothing, dear.
You know, I don't know if you were there when it happened, but there was something strange about the way Ruiz and Jafar talked about Ajay. It was almost as if, I don't know.
Yeah, I've noticed that whenever they talk about him. Your brother is an influential man. Maybe they're just intimidated by the knowledge that you are Ajay and Pillai's brother, the founder of the Trust Hospital. They feel obliged to use these big formal words when the conversation is about him.
Maybe, but sometimes it sounds to me like they're afraid of something. I'm just concerned, that's all.
You probably should be.
How come?
Sometimes it feels like the city smiles too hard, too wide. From the moment you enter town, you're showered with smells and smiles. There's flies dipping down to greet shawarma meat on grill poles, halwa sliced open and put on display in sweetmeat shops, salty air caressing you gently each time your lungs expand, and the salt that settles in slowly in your body, crystallizing. Years later, you start to suffocate. The kindness, the warmth, the perfection, it's nearly unbearable. Salim was talking to me when I went to put away the cups. He was telling me about his father. They both live close to the canal in a small building where the migrant laborers stay. They have no one else but each other, even in this town brimming with friends and laughter. Salim works small jobs in different places, and his father helps out with building houses in the area. Salim's father also has gout, but he still goes for namaz 5 times a day. The man has fallen sick. He has been vomiting constantly with a high temperature fever. He also has trouble breathing. Salim was telling me all this, and he broke down crying right in front of me. I felt very troubled seeing it. It's probably because I'm used to seeing him smile so much, making chai and cutlets for us all. He's only 23 years old, Satyan, and he's already a better actor than the lot of us. Just imagine, he's 23 and you call him Salimetta. His face is so worn out you can't tell his age.
I never knew he was suffering like that. I just realized I hardly know anything about this boy. Oh God.
I told him to bring his father to Trust tomorrow. He said he can't afford to go to a big private hospital like Trust. I was stupid to even suggest it. I know that despite all the programs that you asked your brother to incorporate, Trust is still a big shot private hospital that overcharges all their patients the moment they set foot in there. And besides, I never liked that brother of yours. I don't trust a word of his.
What do you mean?
The day I went over to his office to ask him how our daughter could apply for an internship at the trust, let's just say I overheard some very unpleasant things.
Unpleasant thing? Like what?
It's alright. Don't bother yourself about it. You put your brother on a pedestal too often. I know whatever I'll try to tell you won't cheat you at all. You have this very rosy image of things. Everyone in this town has a very rosy image of things.
You're losing me, Ranjini. I don't understand. All I can assure you is this. If he says something uncouth to you, I won't hesitate to confront him about it.
I believe that much. You know what? I think we should stop by Delectables after all. Those coffee Swiss rolls are actually very lovely.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Good morning, Sister Bila.
Good morning, Sister Sheila.
Ready for another day of work at the Trust?
You know it.
Oh, sticks and stones may break your bones, but we'll fix you right up. For a skillful doctor, there's no one knows. You'll feel right at home, yup. Trust, we're an ally of the people. Trust, it's a name you can trust. Trust, we're an ally of the people. Trust, it's a name you can trust. Trust.
And that's all there is to it. You should be feeling better in no time. Did your father come to visit today?
You don't need to treat me like a kid, Leah Chichi.
I wouldn't dream of it, Omana. I just like checking on you because you're so nice to talk to. Plus, you're my cousin, so it's only normal for me to worry about your recovery.
Oh, please. You're just checking on me because the other nurses find me unpleasant. And you're an intern nurse, so you have a lot of sucking up to do. And that's why you have to do what they say. Appa told me about interns.
Well, what do you think interns are?
They're people without actual jobs. Appa told me he keeps a lot of interns around in this hospital because it makes the hospital look good. It's for prestige.
He's not exactly wrong, but that's not how it works. Anyway, the point is, I want you to feel healthy again soon. I'm sure you're just irritated around here because you're feeling alone and you miss your friends. I bet you can't wait to go to school again, right?
Yeah, this place sucks. The TV only has like boring Malayalam channels. And news. I don't like news.
Some of those channels aren't all that boring. Tell you what, they're playing a Mohanlal special marathon from 1 o'clock onwards on channel 12. Watch one movie. Just one. And tell me what the story was about when I get back.
Yeah, right. What's in it for me?
If you manage to watch one movie and tell me what it was about, I will give you my phone. So you can call your friends for until I have to get back. What does this sound?
It's not that bad a deal. Fine.
Alright. I will head to the canteen now. Sister Sheila will bring in your lunch today. And I will see you later in the evening today. Cool?
Yeah, cool. Don't forget what you promised.
As long as you don't. Bye, Omana.
Bye.
Hey, Leah, over here.
Kirija madam, good afternoon.
Yes, come sit dear. I ordered myself a masala dosha. Once in a while and all, it's okay, no? Yeah, I'll get one for you. Subhash, one more MD.
MD?
Everything is abbreviated here, no? Chicken biryani is CB, masala dosha is MD, and our Lord and Savior Subhash of the canteen feels more professional when you shorten the names. So, how are your rounds today? Just a month of all this left, no? Then you will be gone from here.
You never know. I'm still figuring it out with the nursing college. Might just stay here for good, madam, since you treat me to all those food so often.
You need to eat, child. Now is the age for all this. Eat as much as you want and don't pay for it. Someday you won't be treated to all this, huh? Enjoy it while it lasts. Hey, where's your appa? That fellow, he told me he'd tell me all about this drama thing he was working on. Aha, what a traitor.
Oh, he hasn't forgotten at all. On the way here, I saw a long line of patients waiting outside the GP's room. So I think he's busy today. He told me to tell you all about it though. He is very excited to have you on board. He asked me to be as persuasive as possible.
Oh, really? Tell him that I am offer only, okay? See, it has been many years since I worked in a play. I once worked in a modern rendition of Othello, and it was too fun. Your appa was a junior in the medicine stream back then. He was actually the only fellow in that stream who did theatre at Victoria, and I admired him from that time itself. That's why when your appa told me about this drama troupe, I was just surprised that he'd kept the passion alive for all these years. So I had to ask what he was up to. Oh, here comes Subhash with our crispy hot MDs. After all these rounds and records each and every day, some enjoyment must be there for this old lady also, no?
Oh, I wouldn't call you that old. You're still a charming young lady. See there, look at Subhash blushing around you. Could he be more nervous? Okay, so I'll tell you about the play quickly without wasting your time. So, it's called An Enemy of the People and is written by Henrik Ibsen. There is a doctor trying to prove that the pride of the town, an establishment called the Baths, has water polluted by toxic chemicals hazardous to the public's health. However, the doctor's brother, who holds an important position in town, doesn't want this truth to be revealed to the public because it would damage his reputation. He is one of the founding members of the Baths, after all. The play focuses on the moral responsibility of a righteous man to his hometown and the consequences of this conflict between truth and corruption. Dad was really taken with Ibsen in college, and he says that it's becoming increasingly relevant now. Mom's planning to help out with all the staging and logistics. She's also very enthusiastic about the project. And Jafar uncle, Hakim uncle, and Ruwais uncle are also very nice people. They really get what theatre is all about. I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun working with them. Also, there's a... Girisha madam, are you feeling okay?
Yes, I'm okay.
You look pale, madam. Should I get you some water?
There is this quote from Othello that I really like. Reputation is an idle and most false imposition, oft got without merit and lost without deserving. I was just thinking about that.
Girisha madam, you can talk to me if there's something on your mind. I can tell something's bothering you.
I am sure you've heard about the upcoming NABH inspection. They haven't provided us with accreditation yet, but this year Ajay Pillai is very keen on it. And so that's happening starting next week. They'll be inspecting everything. The number of beds, the facilities, the equipment, the canteen, the doctors, the nurses, the administration, whether or not the patients are satisfied, and the general hygiene of the hospital as well. Quite a big deal, no?
Oh yeah, I remember Sister Bila mentioning it many times this past week. She said the rest of this month is going to end up being one huge inspection.
Yes, it is a big deal. It's going to mean a lot for this hospital too, since it's only recently been founded. It would be a shame if something was amiss, no?
Madam, I'm sure it will be completely alright. Why do you worry about the inspection? The nursing department is doing amazing, thanks to you. I don't see how.
No, child, it's not that. Something happened recently. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know if I should tell you also. But I don't know what else to do. It's like a moral dilemma. Can you keep a secret?
Madam, what's going on?
Okay. I think I will tell you. But you can't tell your appa about this. So, 2 days ago, Ajayan Pillai called on me to come with him to the C block building. He told me there was a dirty water spill there and said that I was supposed to be in charge of the cleaning staff for C block. There are some faulty pipes there and the head of cleaning staff was on maternity leave. So I happily agreed to help. When I came by, Ajayan Pillai was guiding a very well-dressed man down to the sewage treatment plant. I accompanied them only to check in what places the pipes had cracked adjacent to the rooms. They were pipes from the block's toilets and they could easily be replaced from the outside. I heard snatches of the conversation while I was walking around them and I heard things I think I shouldn't have.
What did you hear?
The sewage treatment plant is completely dysfunctional. 2 organs of the plant need to be replaced and it will take a few lakhs and a week of work. The well-dressed man was telling him he could either replace the parts for a sum of money or that he could take care of it some other way, and that either way would involve money.
What? I don't follow you. What does that mean?
Eda, simply put, Ajayan Pillai bribed that man so that the inspection committee wouldn't worry to check out the sewage treatment plant. If they did, this hospital would be in deep...
Hold on. Doesn't that mean the sewage is passing through into the Kinoli Canal untreated? That's quite serious, madam. So much human waste and chemicals and medicines.
Yes, I know, child. It is actually a big problem. All of the waste is simply discharged into the Kinoli Canal, a public water body.
That's disgusting.
More dangerous than disgusting.
But wait, I don't understand, madam. Why can't trust pay for the replacements? Not that I know anything about how accounting works, but from what I can tell, the hospital should be able to cover this top priority expense.
Ideally trust should be able to, I know. But situation is not ideal, no. This is just my guess. But look at the amount of money the hospital is wasting on all this beautification and publicity. There is actually no need for this new building that's coming up. They're turning it into a lavishly spacious waiting lounge and resto bar. And so much advertising. I don't know what this fellow is doing. Ajayan is not focusing on what the hospital needs at the moment. I would not be surprised if he did not account for this unexpected development with the sewage treatment plant. And maybe the offer the well-spoken man made might not have been a heavy cost.
Whose cost, madam? He is bribing his problems away and compromising the health of the public. How do you think he can excuse himself from this? We need to take this up, madam. We need to speak to people. Maybe I can convince Dad to confront him.
Keep quiet, child. What can we do? Maybe Ajayan only will figure it out. We should not worry about these things.
Madam, this is clearly bothering you and you're telling me to quiet down. As nursing superintendent
And your mentor, I am asking you to shut up and listen to what I have to say. I don't know where to go, okay? I'm struggling from one day to the next already and I don't want to add to the pressure. I don't know what I would do without the trust. You should be grateful for this hospital too. Your uncle founded it with good intentions. I'm sure of that. You are a young girl. You don't know that the world actually works this way. These are desperate times and Ajayan had to resort to desperate measures. I totally understand his position, you know. You be happy with what you have and leave with good memories and necessary work experience. We adults need to value our reputations over our profession sometimes.
Madam, how can you say such things? We need to confront Uncle about this. You literally just mentioned something about reputation being worthless in the face of...
Hey, I know your type. Liberal and open-minded. I was also like this and all only child. But there comes a time where you have to surrender to mishaps like these. Turn a blind eye. Nothing else is amiss, no. At least you can be happy, no. You don't need to worry about such things. Now go, finish your rounds. I will handle the bill. And don't forget what I told you. Not a word to your appa. I am putting my trust in you.
Okay, madam. Take care.
Okay, that was really rad. I hate to admit it, but that Mohanlal dude does have some swag. Like the way he snoops around people and beats them at their own game, the way he goes about punching and kicking his way through all the fight scenes, and that mischievous face he makes when he's trying to woo a girl. This guy's amazing.
I don't know if he deserves that much praise, but I'm glad you found something to distract yourself with.
Well, it's not a bad distraction.
I'm sure. I've been there. I've had my own Lalaton phase when I was younger. Still, I'm loyal to him. I'm just happy to see you get so excited about something.
Yeah, okay, fine. Can you give me your phone now?
I was hoping you'd forget about that bit. But here it is, as promised.
Thanks. You're not all that bad.
I'll take that as a compliment, Omana. By the way, did Sister Bila come to give you this afternoon's medicine?
Oh yeah, she sure did. She was yapping away about some inspection that's happening next week and about how she wanted to wear her best sari to it, but can't because dress code is important to the inspection people. She's so weird. Sister Sheila's super weird too. She came by just to tell me excitedly that she found a love letter in her lunch kit and then proceeded to rip it apart in front of me because she needs no man. Aren't Sheila and Bean are twins?
I wonder about that more often than you'd think. They're just being their usual selves, and I think they've started to like you. Or at least they're trying to like you.
They're definitely twins.
And you're definitely not listening. But it's nice to see you get so lively.
Yeah. Are you excited about the inspection thing?
Yeah, sure.
We have inspections in our schools once every year. Suddenly the teachers get super concerned about classes and seating arrangements and making chart paper timetables to stick on the walls and the notice boards. Only then will they suddenly start correcting our notebooks and ask us to cover them in brown paper, that too with labels and stuff. If the inspection people knew what we're actually like, they would have totally lost it. We're like a bunch of apes trying our best to look as human as possible.
That's an interesting thought. But do you think the committee should see things as they truly are? Or do you think it's fair for you guys to pretend like everything's alright?
Weird question, Leah Chechi. But I don't think it's wrong, you know. It's like makeup. You get all dolled up to meet nice people outside and you look your best. Even though you actually really look like a 30-year-old.
Hey! Was that for me? Rude!
What do I say? I call him like I see him, you know.
Where do you even learn such phrases?
Hey, can you bring me some water? I'm really tired of talking to you.
Yeah, one moment. Here you go, big girl.
Thanks.
Satyan Pillai is a ritualistic man. As a general practitioner at the trust, a long queue of patients waiting outside his office keep him busy from 8 in the morning to 5:30 in the evening. As soon as his last appointment for the day is met with, Satyan folds up his coat over his chair, makes a few notes for the next day, and leaves the office to find Leah waiting in the canteen. His final ritual of the weekday involves him and his daughter watching the sun fade into the Arabian Sea at Gorikor Beach. This place is somehow busy and quiet at the same time. A stillness shared with a number of murmuring ghosts as the waves beat the sandy rocks steadily into submission. We moved back from the States so Satyan could be a part of this stillness at least once every week. My husband loves this city dearly and would do anything for it.
Anyway, I'm glad to hear Amina is doing alright. But what I told you before is still bothering me. I still don't understand why Hakim couldn't have called me. If he told me he was suffering so badly, I could have helped in some way earlier on.
And here I thought you both had met at some point back then when he came by. Hakim uncle came to our hospital, Dad. I saw him around reception. He looked so tired. We didn't say anything to each other. He seemed to be in a rush. When he saw me, he just waved at me with a sad smile.
It is rather concerning, Leah. And it's not just Hakim. The entire colony across the Canoli Canal is a highly infected zone. So many are suffering from cholera and typhoid and other troubling ailments. It could be some sort of waterborne contagion. I plan to tell Ajay so we can do something about it,
Yeah, I really think you should.
Yes, there's a lot the trust can do for this city. And Ajay would always be excited for some new outreach project.
Yeah. Dad, I think you must know something. It's about Ajay uncle and the Canoli Canal diseases. I was trying to keep it from you, but I think you deserve to know. I think you're the closest to Ajay uncle who could do something about it.
What is it, Leah? I don't understand.
Alright. I'll tell you what I've heard, but I can't tell you my sources. I promised them I wouldn't.
What is all this shady business? Relax. Just tell me what it is.
This is the exact opposite of what a hospital should do to the people of their city. I'm sorry for saying all this about Ajay uncle, but I really think you should talk to him about it.
Don't worry too much about it. It sounds like a rumor to me. Ajay isn't the sort of person to do the things that you just told me about. It's actually quite impossible, considering how much he's been doing for this city, for our family.
Dad, you can't really trust someone's public image so blindly. Ajay uncle is doing something very dangerous and it needs to be stopped. Forget all the favors and...
Leah, you're spouting nonsense. Don't be so ungrateful. Nobody knows my brother like I do. The hospital has no such big conspiracy. And even if the funds are being used for something else, that is a corporate decision that Ajay has taken. And I would not question him about it. He knows best when it comes to these matters.
What? Why would you defend him? Don't you see what's happening here? This is exactly like that play. Dad, you're the only person here who can bring about a change. You're the good doctor on the side of truth.
You're being very childish, Leah. This is our city, with people we know and trust. There are people. All these stories about corruption, I'm sure they happen elsewhere, but not where Ajay is. Ajay is Kozhikode's beacon of hope, and I would never doubt his decision making.
Wow. All of you with your patronizing tones. I've had it. I can't believe what you're telling me. After every righteous thing I thought you stood for, now you tell me something like this. I don't even know what part you play here. Do whatever you like. I'll deal with this myself somehow, in my own way.
Leah,
I don't know about you, but I'm going back to the car.
Leah, what the hell? The sun's just about to set.
It really is.
My husband loves this city dearly and would do anything for it. But sometimes I think I love it more. Though I was born here, I didn't grow up here. The city didn't grow without me either. Coming back felt like nothing had changed. Sickly sweet, prickly heat, crinkly sheets of tarpaulin sheltering tiny roadside shops everywhere you go. I stayed at home most of the time, writing for journals online and taking care of the garden. A venture I had never attempted till date. But the day the seeds of worry sprouted deep within me was the same day a neighbor sent me tulip seeds from Munnar to plant in my garden. Just as I finished burying them under the wet soil, Salim cut through the large corridor of light that fell over my amateur yet ambitious garden. Salim, the young man who worked so many different jobs to aid his dying father. Salim, a boy too old for his age.
Chechi, namaskaram. You had asked me to come?
Hello Salim, how are you? Just come inside.
Is Sar inside?
Will you only meet him? He isn't here. I'm the one who called you here, no? Come, I will be the one to serve you cutlets today.
Chechi, adandanu chale, it is going to be 6 soon. I have to go back to work and finish up quickly before I leave for prayers. Vapa sits outside the mosque every Friday, so I am a little worried about him.
He begs outside the mosque.
We do what we can, Chechi. He keeps falling there sometimes. And it is a narrow lane with many vehicles coming by, so I should be there. Do you need any help, Chechi, with this garden or something?
No, nothing of that sort. Wait here, okay? If there is joy in this town, it must surely come from the bonds one shares with another. In the living room, next to the telephone, was a white envelope with wads of cash in it. After confirming that the contents were intact, I walked back to Salim, waiting in the courtyard. He was fiddling with one of his slippers, which was broken. Seeing me appear, he quickly fidgeted and took off both his slippers, deciding it was better to walk barefoot than with a broken slipper. I handed him the wad of cash and put up my hands before he could say anything. Just take it, Salim.
Chechi, idendana itran cash? Why are you giving me this much money, Chechi?
I touched the cross on my neck. It was a simple chain, but the cross was platinum. It was my mother's. It was awarded to her for all her years of service, nursing at a Catholic hospital in the States. I tugged on the cross for a second and then took it off my neck, handing it to a speechless Salim.
Chechi, endira?
It is platinum. Sell it off and treat your father. You deserve to be happy in the city, Salim. You can get a small house and find a better job.
I can't take this much money, Chechi. I can work for it, but I can't take it freely. Chechi, please.
God bless you, Salim. Just go. Do not tell Satya and Sar about this. Understood? Just go. I watched calmly as this small man turned around and left out the gate, carrying in one hand a heavy envelope and in the other a pair of broken slippers. I stood frozen there for quite a while, even after he had left. I hope the tulips grow soon. this garden will finally have a touch of color in it.
Good morning, Sister Bila.
Good morning, Sister Sheila.
Ready for another day of work at the trust?
You know it.
Oh, sticks and stones may break your bones, but we'll fix you right up. We'll build it till your loans take loans just for paying in a cup. Trust, we're an ally of the people. Trust, it's a name you can trust. Trust, we're an ally of the people. Trust, it's a name you can trust. Trust.
Other than that, everything is fine, sir. But, sir, I've sent you the salary review for approval. So, you can just tell me if you're fine with it, sir. Only if you have time, sir.
Hi, Dasappa. You will have my edits in your inbox by tomorrow. Now, I want to see the profiles. That's why you're here, Ale. Show me. Come on.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I have only 5 profiles for the cardiologist vacancy for the time being, sir. This profile stands out the most.
Aha, that's nice. Read it out to me, Dasappa.
Sir, this doctor is highly experienced and has ample education. Apart from MBBS, he has completed the super specialty course in cardiology, and then he worked in Singapore Medical University for 3 years. After that, he came back to Kerala and worked 2 years in Malappuram's ZIMS hospital. He has quite a few appreciation awards from the district as well.
From Malappuram. What is this fellow's name, Dasappa?
His name is Muhammad Jadir, sir.
Ayo, Dasappa. This fellow looks like a ruffian. We can't scare our patients like that. Do we have any other names on the list?
Yes, sir. Yes. We have a Kishan Nair from Kozhikode. He's still completing his specialization, but he has worked as a GP in Ruby for 2 months.
Hi, Dasappa. Kishan Nair is our Janardhan sir's son, Ale? Tell him to come. I know he's a bit unqualified, but that fellow is very virtuous. Janardhan sir had called recently to take a look at him. These fellows need experience and we should give it to them, Ale?
But, sir, what about the other doctor from...
Hello. Am I interrupting? Hi, Satyan. Come in. Dasappa and I were just looking at some potential candidates for the cardio department. Nothing serious. You come sit. Haha, thank you. Hello, Das. How are you doing?
Very good, sir. Just fine, sir.
So, what brings the busy doctor to my office? Everything's going fine, Ale? Of course. I just wanted to tell you that our theatre group down the canal is planning to put up a play on New Year's. I'm officially inviting you to come watch it. Das, you should come as well. In fact, I'm inviting most of the staff from here to come see it. Hear that, Dasappa? You're invited to a fancy English play. My little brother is quite the actor, huh? You'll have your jaw on the floor when you look at him up there. A drama fellow and a doctor at the same time. He'll go break a leg and then fix it up on himself. Yes. Although I'm not as amazing as my brother claimed, the troupe together makes for an amazing team. Everyone is very talented and we meet regularly to rehearse. Hakeem, Jafar and Ruwais studied with me in school and I was over the moon to hear that they love theatre as much as I do. Hopefully this will be a successful project. Ranjini is helping a lot too. Yes, quite nice. Hi, Dasappa. It's just surprising what people can do with their time, Ale. I heard Omna is doing quite better now. Leah has been telling me how much she's improving. Yes, Satyan. She's doing fine by the grace of God. Was there something else you wanted to tell me? No, nothing else. I saw the new advertisement for the hospital. Very catchy it is. I heard Sister Sheila and Sister Bila sang it together.
Yes, yes, that is very true. They turned out to be wonderful singers, Ale. The ad has been commented everywhere all the time. I'm so happy they put all that effort into it. It's good for the hospital.
But I've always wondered about something. Are Sheila and Bila twins?
Hello, this is Leah. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, sweet child. This is Girija. Do you have a minute to talk?
Oh, madam. Is everything alright?
Yes, dear. I just wanted to tell you some important things. Pay attention to what I have to say, understood? This is all I can think of, and I'm going to let you decide what to do with it.
Huh? Yes. Okay, madam. I'm listening.
When you report for duty tomorrow, the first thing you must do is check your locker. I've hidden away a folder there. This folder is a collection of patient billing records from last year. You must go through the bills very discreetly. I had to print some of it out, but thankfully there wasn't much since the hospital was founded only last year. In this folder, I have marked some sections for you to focus on.
Okay, understood, madam. But what are these records for?
Now, pay good attention to me. You will notice that there are some major billing discrepancies upon comparing the receipts of some of the patients who underwent very similar procedures in the hospital. To put it simply, not everyone that had similar operations were billed the same way.
What? Could it be some kind of discounting?
Things will be more apparent when you go through the folder. I can only provide you this ammunition against Ajay and Pillai. This could help you start combating the mountain of problems the hospital hides from the world. But I can't help you further, child.
This is all very sudden. But madam, thank you for helping me as much as you can.
I will one more time be dramatic and share with you another Othello quote. Men in rage strike those that wish them best. Child, I am sorry for what I said to you. I should not deter you from what you intend to do. It is not my place. But I have my own reservations and priorities, so this is as far as I go. Take the folder to your father and convince him to talk to Ajay and Pillai. I don't know if this is the right thing to do, but I know that you would do it better than anyone.
Madam, it is okay. I know I'm clumsy and brash and impulsive, and that I'm too starry eyed to ever think of consequences. I know that trying to do the right thing is not going to change the world drastically, but I think it is worth the least amount of change it will bring. I know I can't do things right all the time, but I know I should always try to do the right thing.
You are not like your father at all. Somehow, I could never figure that fellow out. He's a strange one, your father. But I hope you find what you're looking for, child. Good night.
My father is. Yeah, well, have a good night, madam. Thank you for everything you've done for this hospital. And for me.
Ranjini, I'm back. Are you ready yet?
Hey, you're back.
What happened? I thought you'd be ready by now. It's Sunday, remember? We have to go for rehearsals, Ranjini. The boys will be waiting.
I'm so sorry. I didn't notice the time go by. I just need to put on a shawl and I'll be ready. Where is Leah? I thought she was coming with you, no?
I don't know. She told me she'd come back on her own.
I think she's really been on edge lately. I worry sometimes, Satyan. Do you know what's bothering her?
Don't worry about it. I think she's just working overtime because her internship period is ending soon. It's nothing concerning. Get your shawl and we'll leave.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Oh, who is calling now? Hello?
Hello, Satyan. It's Jafar. Can you hear me?
Hey, Jafar. Everything okay? Ranjani and I were just coming over to the hall.
Hello? Hello, Satyan? I can't hear you well enough. I wanted to know if you were coming tomorrow for the funeral.
The funeral? Jafar, I'm very confused. What has happened? Please speak clearly.
Oh, I thought you had heard about it. Hakim passed away early in the morning. The body is being processed at the medical college right now. Ruwais and I are here waiting to collect the body so we can take it back home.
What? I can't believe this. I had no idea.
I'm sorry for not telling you sooner. It's just been a very busy day. I somehow thought you'd know. The entire colony is at his house right now. It was a horrible sight. Maimoona was beating away at her chest and wailing outside her house. Both the children were weeping inside. When Ruwais and I got there, she kept asking us why this had to happen to him. We couldn't say anything, Satyan. His body couldn't take it. And to think such diseases could be cured easily?
Jafar, I'm so sorry. This is horrible. I really wish there was something I could have done. Damn it.
The diseases are spreading, Satyan. And for people like Hakim who have stores of their own, something could have been done to treat these things. But the other families in this colony that are struggling to even put a roof over their heads, this is such an unfair destiny.
Be strong, Jafar. Be strong. I will be with you as soon as I can. It's just a busy week at the hospital right now. That's all. But I promise you, we will do something about this. I have to meet Hakim's family soon. Please let me know if there's anything I can do. I must go now.
Take care, Satyan.
I heard the phone ring. Is everything okay?
Yes. It was Jafar actually.
Oh, what happened? I thought we were going to see them now.
Yes. Funny thing happened, you see. The boys had a bit of a drink. So I think we'll only be seeing them next weekend.
What? Those shameless fellows. What is with them all of a sudden? They've never cancelled before.
Oh, they're men at the end of the day, Ranjani. Say, I was wondering if we could watch a movie at the Crown tonight. Just you and me. That hasn't happened in a while, don't you think? I think we deserve to watch something fun after the week we've been through.
A movie? That sounds good to me. I'll wear something nicer then.
Haha, yes, you do that. I'll be waiting right here.
On a December evening outside our house, some men started setting up a giant billboard for an advertisement of the Trust Hospital. Yet another sign of finality in this town. I thought this town never changed, but maybe I was wrong. Every day, bit by bit, things keep changing. I keep thinking, what if I'm the one left behind? I clutched at the bareness of my neck where there should have been a cross of pure platinum. I wonder where it had been pawned off. It was only several months later that I found out what Salim had done with the money I gave him. It turns out that the boy had skipped town to find work elsewhere, leaving his father to fend for himself at the labourers' quarters. The old man died soon after, with several Bangladeshi men around him, none of whom shared either tongue or blood with him. Salim was never heard from again. In the lanes of all the tin-roofed houses used to be a boy with broken slippers selling cutlets here and there. I often think about where he is now and about how he used all that money for himself. I gaze at the wilted saplings in my garden. How stupid could I have been? How could tulips grow in this town with weather as hot and humid as this? Tulips needed cooler weather. As the sun set on this farce of a garden, I remember the time Satyan and I were running away from the house I grew up in to marry against our parents' wishes. And I remembered my mother shouting these words as we hastily walked away from the threshold. You poets! You dreamers! You fools!
I think we'll take our leave then. Naseem, Nabila, please take care of your mother. And once again, I am terribly sorry that I couldn't do anything to. I'm just sorry that I couldn't help.
It's alright, Mr. Pillai. Thank you for all the support you have given us. My father would be really glad to know you care so much.
Yes, Babaji trusted you with his life, sir.
Nabila, I'm sorry that this happened to you. The wedding was so close.
Madam, I'm just glad I'm not a burden anymore. Now it's okay. Nobody will marry a fatherless girl like me anymore. It is better that way, Ranjini madam. I didn't want to pressure my father so much. He was so pressed for money. I didn't want him suffering like that. He was suffering even in his final moments, and now he's free of that suffering.
Your father was a really good man, Nabila. He was always very proud of the two of you. There wasn't a day he wouldn't gush on about you. He told us he always wanted you to finish with college, Nabila. And Naseem, he was very sure that you could handle the store on your own. He saw great potential in you.
We have decided to sell the store, Ranjini madam. It wasn't doing so well in the first place. And now, after the medicines and the burial ceremony, we are hard up for money than ever before. We are hoping this brings some relief to us.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Don't get me wrong, madam. Both Vapa and I loved the store, and I know he would have done anything to keep it. But it was becoming a burden. I could see it on his face every night he returned from work. But nothing could make him more happier than the rehearsals you have on Sundays. He would be back laughing and making the silliest of jokes, treating us to an anecdote or two before he went off for a bath. The theatre kept him alive. And even when he was suffering, he regretted not telling you he couldn't attend those rehearsals. Please forgive him, Satyan sir. I hope you understand.
Yes, I truly understand. It pained me to lose him.
Hello! How come you both are leaving so soon? The tea is still boiling, just wait. You should have tea and then leave. Don't leave just like that. Hakeem would be very annoyed if he were here, okay? Come, sit.
No, Maimuna. You shouldn't have gone to all that trouble. We're leaving now, it's fine.
You will do nothing of the sort. Stay for a minute, won't you? A widow needs someone to tell her worries to, don't you think? It has been 2 weeks since he left us all, and the pain still feels fresh. The sheets still smell like him. That disgusting stench of vomit also hasn't left. All the sheets have been washing again and again, but the smell doesn't go away, you see. The smell is haunting us instead of him. The smell of the vomit.
Ma.
Some reporters had come by a few days back. Did you tell them, maybe? Some reporters came by with cameras and mics, ya Allah. With cameras and mics they came. And they were interviewing many people here around the canal. They came here also, to our house. They wanted to write about us in the newspapers and bring us on TV. So many people here are sick, you know. So many people. All vomiting and feverish and dying. They asked many questions about the disease and the water problems and everything. The water is the problem. They also feel. Everyone drinks this water, bathes in it. Ha! Don't worry. I bought some mineral water to make you tea so you won't be sick or anything. But it is such a pity, you know. Nabila keeps getting rashes everywhere because of the water. Isn't it, Nabila? Such a pity it is. Everyone here is suffering. And then with the cameras and mics. The cameras and mics. The reporters. Oh, where did they go? Who cares about people like us who want to see us on TV and newspapers? Maybe some small column in the obituary will be enough to prove we were here once upon a time. And that also, no guarantee, you see. When my turn comes, God, please don't make it brutal. I hope he gives me a painless death. I hope I leave very few sheets for my children to wash.
Uma, please stop.
Mayuna, we have to leave. I'm terribly sorry for your loss. Please, take this money. It is not much, but I hope it can fix some of your problems. Here, Naseem, please keep it.
Oh, you good soul. Hakim loved you so much. Allah. He's gone. He's gone.
Ranjini, let's not stay longer. Come, let's go.
We hope to see you again soon. Please take care of yourselves, children. Please tell your mother we'll come by again sometime.
Sorry about all this, madam. Thank you for coming.
Satyan, what is happening? What are you going to do about this?
What do you mean? What happened?
Don't play games with me. Leah told me everything. I know about the untreated sewage. I know what your brother has done. I know. So, what are you going to do about this?
There is a chapel not too far from here where people of all faith come and pray. The sick and the weary, the rich and the poor, their burdens on an altar lay. The Hindus, the Muslims, the Christians and more, they bear their hearts for God to see. They light all these candles in hopes of salvation. Would anyone light one for me? Walk to the chapel barefoot and sore. Walk to the chapel, now opens the door. Bear all your pain and your grief and your sorrow. Walk to the chapel and pray for a morrow. With broken old bodies and broken old souls, in sickness and health do we pray. We join arm in arm now, though different we were. We all bow together and say, walk to the chapel barefoot and sore. Walk to the chapel, now opens the door. Bear all your pain and your grief and your sorrow. Walk to the chapel and pray for a morrow. The blood on your hands is not ours alone. For money and power you lust. In this coastal city you pander, you pity. But in whom will you put your trust? In whom will you put your trust?
Good morning, Sister Bila.
Good morning, Sister Sheila.
Ready for another?
Oh, sticks and stones may break your bones, but we'll send you right up. We love the sound of your moans and groans, and we love being corrupt. trust. We're not like the people, trust. It's a name you can trust, trust. We're not like the people, trust. It's a name you can trust, trust.
Yes?
Hey there. Am I interrupting something?
Hi. Satyan, come in, come in. Sit down, brother. How is everything?
Everything is fine. I just needed to talk to you about something and then I leave.
Oh, of course, of course. Should I ask to fetch you some coffee? I usually get one for myself around this time, you see.
No, it's fine. How are you?
Is everything alright? Tell me what it is.
Ajay, I generally don't trust people for nothing. And I know all about the efforts you took for this town, this hospital, and especially my family. But there is some information I have with me that makes me doubt you. Some rumors that I had to ask you about myself.
You look very pale, Satya. You know how rumors go about in the corporate? I hear some of them myself and think, how can people make such ridiculously elaborate stories, Ale? Anyway, what is this rumor that has had you this concerned? I would love to hear all about it.
It's about the sewage treatment plant in the other block. I hear rumors that it's releasing untreated sewage into the public canal. Knowing that the NABH review is approaching, you contacted someone in the upper ranks and then decided to.
My dear boy, let me stop you right there. First things first. The STP is functioning on optimum levels at the moment, and there has been no issue with the treatment of chemical waste. There were a few broken pipes in the block recently, mind you, inside the block, and we had those fixed the very same day. You can confirm this by asking my secretary, or Das from HR, or even nursing superintendent Girija Krishnan, who was on cleaning duty. Or else, you can come with me to the new block and check for yourself. Well, would you like that? Come on, what is all this nonsense, eh?
But I was under the impression that.
Now, I wasn't done. Second of all, you say I contacted someone from high up the NABH and did what exactly? Bribe them. I don't know where you were taking that sentence, but I certainly hope that's not where it was. Now, is that what you meant to say?
Ajay, I.
Come on, answer me, good doctor. Is that what you meant to say?
Yes. And I have this.
What's that you got there, little brother?
This is a set of billing records I came across on my table. It has several receipts from the last financial year. And there are quite a few differences between the pricing for various patients that went through nearly the same procedures. For example, all 5 of these patients went through the same surgeries, although there were minimal variations in each case. However, the base prices that we have tacked onto their bills are different from each other. These 3 have the same base price, and the other 2 have a much higher base price. The names of the people who have been billed lower are Ravi, Kishan, and Madhavi. And the 2 patients that are charged a much higher bill are Muzaffar and Abdullah. And this pattern is not specific to only this set of patients. It's observed all across the records. It's clear what the billing is based on.
Come on now, Satyan. What in the world are you insinuating? At first, I had to question the legitimacy of those records. Where did you get them? Such things can be easily forged, you see. Now tell me, who gave you these records?
I can't tell you that, Ajay.
Why don't I give it a guess? It's that hybrid bitch, isn't it? Your whore of a daughter, Ale?
What?
I'm just happy father was already dead and gone when you decided to marry that useless Nazrani lady and whisk her off to America. Satyan, I'm so disappointed. People like you never understand. You think you're all progressive, but you keep forgetting your responsibilities towards your community and to the purity of that community, our community.
Our community?
Yes, Yes, repeat after me like a little child. Our community. Do you think about your roots at any point in your life? See, Satyan, every community does it for their own. Look at the Christian hospitals. Look at the Muslim hospitals. They do it everywhere and don't make a big deal out of it. Do you really think I promote hate? Look at my face. I want what's best for the city and I'm doing my best for it. I do need to cut costs where I can and charge more where I should so that I can serve my community better. And you, dear brother, you of all people should understand this, Ale.
I don't understand.
You don't understand? What can you understand? You go hang out with your jihadi friends and do performing arts like some sheepish homosexual. And at the end of the day, you will always come crawling back to me like the unreliable fool you are. See no honor in you, boy. No honor. You don't understand? And I doubt you ever will.
Ajayan?
Ajayan, sir. There's an emergency, sir. You must hurry. Somana, your daughter, sir. She's in a terrible state. Please, hurry, sir.
Don't worry. You're going to be just fine. You're sleeping now, little Omana. And once you're healthy, I'll take you home to your Amma. Then you'll see all your friends at the school, Ale. You should maybe have a little party with them. I certainly had my reservations about some of them, but I think, well, I'm starting to realize that I've let certain emotions get the better of me. I've scolded you a lot for being so close with them, haven't I? I just did it to keep you safe. Do you understand? We can't have another family embarrassment. And with power, sometimes you can't see clearly what matters to you. The fame and connections you have, sometimes you forget what's most important to you. But power too must go to those that can shoulder the weight of responsibility. Only some people are worthy of carrying the weight of power around. Everything I have done, Omana, I have done for you. Not everyone is suited to my job. I'm sorry for not spending enough time with you, but I will now. I will be right here when you wake up. That I can promise you. That alone you can trust.
What could I have done? He said everything was fine. He said I needn't worry. Ajayan can't be wrong. There aren't any problems, but what if there were?
Satyan?
Who? Who is that?
Satyan, it's me, Hakeem, your friend. Why do you lie to yourself?
I never lie. What do you mean by that? I'm honest.
You saw me that day at the trust. I called out to you so many times. You were talking to your brother. You were chattering away, laughing. You saw I was there, but you moved past me knowing I was calling out to you. Why did you leave me to die, Satyan?
I'm not responsible for any of this. What are you saying?
I had no money to give them, so I had to go back. I was humiliated in that lounge the day I called out to you so many times, and you didn't so much as flinch. I could never face you. Could you have faced me? Why did you leave me to die, Satyan?
I don't have any part in this. You died because you didn't take care of yourself.
Do you really believe your brother so much, Satyan? I thought you were wiser than that. No, you are wiser than that. You know what the truth is, and you decided to conveniently tuck it away because you're terrified of your brother. You're afraid of the truth.
I'm not afraid of anything. It's just not my place.
And now you tell me something like this. You don't even know what part you play here.
What part I play here? I'm just a guy that loves this city.
You love yourself more. You are just a spineless man who cares more for himself than anything else.
That's not true. That's not true.
Let's go to the ground instead. Let's go to the ground instead.
I didn't want him suffering like that. He was suffering even in his final moments, and now he's free of that suffering. You freed him of that suffering, didn't you? Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
You're a hero, sir. Our hero.
No. I didn't want him to suffer. I just didn't know what I should have done.
Oh, I'm sure you knew. Dr. Stockman knew what to do. Why wouldn't you know, Satyan?
Why wouldn't you know, Satyan?
But the smell doesn't go away, you see. The smell is haunting us instead of him. Do you want to wash my sheets? Smell it. See how it stinks?
You don't care for the world you live in. You're not fit for the role you claim. You cannot take action.
I just want to be on my own. I just want to be happy. Is that too much to ask for? This is not what I wanted. I don't want to take action. I don't need to take action. If people get to know, then it becomes political. And I don't want to be part of any political thing. Don't I deserve to come back home to some peace and quiet after a long day's work? I didn't ask for this. This is not what I wanted.
Why did you leave me to die, Satya?
My husband loves this city dearly and would do anything for it.
You will never understand.
Why did you leave me to die, Satya?
Let's go to the ground instead.
The smell doesn't go away. The smell.
You knew what to do.
You knew what to do.
Nobody wants to marry a fatherless daughter anyway.
You're a hero.
You're not fit for this role.
You will never understand.
Why did you leave me to die?
Let's go to the ground instead.
The smell.
You knew what to do.
You knew what to do.
Marry a fatherless daughter.
You will never
You're not fit for
understand.
this role.
I say, Evanson, tell me what is going on here tonight.
Dr. Stockman is going to deliver an address attacking the mayor.
Attacking the mayor? But the mayor is their brother.
That doesn't matter. That good doctor's not the kind of a person to be afraid. Dr. Stockman loves this town and will do anything for it.
Quiet down, gentlemen. The mayor will address the meeting.
Good evening, people. I venture to presume that there is not a single one of our citizens present who considers it desirable that exaggerated accounts of the sanitary condition of the baths and the town should be spread about. Therefore, I wish for this body of people to disallow Dr. Stockman from speaking tonight, for the safety of our people.
Of course, this town thrives on the existence of the baths.
That's right. We don't want to hear about it.
I think we should hear the good doctor out and then decide what's what.
Order! Order! We shall now hear from the good doctor and listen to what they have to say about it.
Where is the doctor? The so-called hero of justice in this town. Do we even need such a hero at all, fellas?
If the doctor hasn't arrived yet, then that proves how much they really care about their causes.
I'm here. I've just arrived. Apologies for the tardiness. Let me speak.
Dr. Stockman has arrived.
Sorry for keeping you all, ladies and gentlemen. I am aware that my brother wishes to stall this meeting and cancel it altogether. But before I speak of the baths or of any other problem this town is dealing with, I just wanted to remind you of one simple thing. We are all allies, and I have always believed this. We make this town more than the town makes us, and we must always remember this fact. We must constantly make sure we build this town on grounds of truth. We must learn to discern truth from fable at all times. Not all of us may be righteous, but all of us deserve to live together in safe harmony. So I ask of you, not as Dr. Stockman, but as one of you, as a fellow ally of the people, if you would listen to what I have to say and then decide for yourselves what you choose to believe in. This is all I ask of you.
We shall have a poll now. This poll shall determine whether or not the public meeting must continue. May you all decide the outcome of this meeting, and may it be for the good of our well-being as citizens of this town.
This brings us to the intermission of our performances tonight. This was a rendition of the famous play An Enemy of the People by Henrik Ibsen. Once again, thank you all for attending the Canal Clinic fundraiser initiated by Leah Pillai. We hope to reach out to more people across the canal and get them the help they deserve. A special thanks to Ajay Pillai, the beloved founder of the Trust Hospital, who has sponsored this amazing auditorium for us. Special gratitude to Muhammad Naseem and Fatima Nabila, whose family has been a constant support through these difficult times. Please head out to the hall for snacks and refreshments laid out specially for you. Be careful on your way out. The steps can be a little tricky, but the light should be brightened in another minute. Do come back in another 15 minutes for our second segment, a collection of playlets from Bertolt Brecht, recontextualized for the Indian audience by Dr. Suchetna Banerjee. Hope to see you soon.